Statesman Nation, here with Sean Gosewisch, our men's and women's cross-country coach. Sean, let's sit down for a little bit here and talk about the season, 2015, right around the corner. I think the kids come in next weekend, so just tell us, I guess, first off, let's recap last year. It was a great year for the men. They were right there in a position to come up with a conference title. Came up a little short. Everybody just ran great that day, really. And the women continue to improve. So kind of give us a quick recap of last year.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the women go, just being able to field a full team for an entire season was kind of a win for us. I know that doesn't sound the best, but it's definitely progress on our part. And then as far as the men go, we had a great first half of the season. We were really competing with some teams that we've never been able to battle before. Right. And then the confidence was pretty high going into conference. We thought we can maybe battle it out, and we did for a lot of the race actually.
Right.
And then ended up in third by just a couple points.
Yeah.
It was kind of heartbreaking just to get third, let alone not being able to battle for first. But overall, it was a hugely successful season for us, and we can't really be angry with it.
Definitely. Talk about recruiting quick. Just go into the off season. You guys had a really strong indoor and outdoor track season. We don't need to really talk a lot about that, but obviously continue to build on what's going on, and then obviously with recruiting wise. So just talk about the last few months and getting ready for this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the end of the track season. You're kind of winding down from that, taking stock in everything that happened, how you think the last year went, and definitely finishing up recruiting at that point. And then there's a slow transition to where you're midsummer, you're getting ready for the next season. You're making plans for the cross season, finalizing all the kids that you've gotten to confirm with you, make sure they've got all the plans coming in. So it was a pretty solid recruiting season, I'd say, for both Coach Friesen and I on both sides of things, men's, women's, track, cross country. So yeah, we're going to come in larger, if nothing else, this season.
There you go, definitely. We'll get right into the men's side then. Obviously, OC returning, Ochwang Ekwe, just make sure everybody knows who OC is, but hard to forget him. He had a great year last year. He's going to definitely be pacing the way this year. And from there, go on, talk about whoever you want to talk about, highlight.
Yeah, I mean, it's easiest to split it up into three different categories: the returners, the transfers, and the newcomers. And the returners, on the men's side, OC is definitely one of the big names we got coming back.
Right.
As well as some of the younger kids, Zach, Garrett, and Tyler. They're a three-punch combo that I'm definitely going to count on. And
talk about that last name. Just make sure everybody understands who Zach is and Tyler.
I
know who Zach is.
Right. Zach Johnson, Garrett Heckman, and Tyler Connolly. I'm definitely going to be counting on them. And then, Carlos Lizama is coming back, as well as Jeremy Mooney, and all those guys have experience. They've been with the team for anywhere from 4 to 2 years now. So I'm definitely going to look for them to be not only up front as far as running goes, but leadership roles as well.
Right, yeah.
And on top of that, kind of, anytime you're a transfer, you have experience with the sport. So kids like Tian Siggins, I know, is coming in as a transfer, and I'm going to expect him to kind of know his way around. Maybe he doesn't know the team, maybe he doesn't know our program all that well, but he's familiar with the distances and what it takes to be good at the sport.
Yeah.
And then our newcomers, definitely Logan Hoschek. I'm sorry if I'm getting your last name wrong. Cody Miller and Cameron Shade, those three. I fully expect them to make a big impact on the program when they come in. I know I say that every year, but they were great in high school, and I expect that to continue in college.
Sure.
And then on the women's side, it's the same thing. Oh, you know what? I did forget Alex Edwards.
Yeah.
He is training with us. I'm going to do my best to get him to race with us, too.
Right.
He could be a huge asset.
Yes, he can, yeah.
And in that same note, Peyton Bush is joining us for the first time. I left him out, too, because he hasn't done cross with us before.
Right.
He has done track.
He did track last
so he
year,
should be big for us as well. Just making sure I get everybody included here.
Yeah. Count them all. It's a big list, and that's good.
It is, yeah. It's
great.
I have to remember kids now.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'll move over onto the women's side. As far as returners go, we've got Guadalupe Gonzalez, Addison Kepner, Deja Lewis, and Cindy Walker. We didn't lose a whole lot of girls from last year, which is a good thing.
Right.
So those four are familiar with what I do. They're familiar with what is expected of them.
Right.
And I can see all of them making big improvements this year.
Sure.
And then as far as transfers go, Alexis Devlin, she's coming in. She's in the same boat as Tian was. They know what's expected of them. They know what to do in this sport. So it's just a matter of getting them used to my type of training.
Sure.
And then some of the girls that haven't really been with us but have been at the school, Ariana Davis, Kayla Morrow. There was one more on here. Maybe it was just those two. Oh, Sharon Farmer, actually. Yeah, they've all been at the school before, and they're joining us for cross for the first time.
Right.
And they all seem like great girls, as long as they're willing to continue running the way they have been over the summer and, buy into the program, then they should be pretty good for us. And then, as far as newcomers, we have Lauren Lehman, Kirsty Rankin, and Destiny Galvin. The three of them are our newcomers, and it'll be exciting to see what they can do for us as well.
Sure.
So we've got a lot more girls coming in. I did leave off Terry Alexander too, because I know she is not a huge cross fan, but she will be training with us. She's in kind of the same boat as Alex Edwards.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and both like I said, can be huge assets. So hopefully, everything all works out in that. Talking about switching gears a little bit into the schedule. Obviously, the schedule's probably a lot the same from what we've seen. We can talk about that in a second. Obviously, it all culminates with the Heart of America Athletic Conference meet, which we host here out at Lacey Complex in November. So go through the schedule quick. Anything that you're wanting to highlight, and then obviously we'll talk about conference.
Sure. I mean, it's we've changed a couple things around from last year, but some of the same meets. We'll go back to St. Ambrose. We'll go back to Grandview. Although they changed their course, so it's a lot flatter now, which our kids like.
Yeah. Right.
We're going back to South Dakota. That'll actually be our first meet this year. We're not having anything in August. But then some of the differences are we're going to a meet at Mount Mercy. That's supposed to be pretty big. It's the NAIA Seminole Stampede or something along those lines.
You're right, yeah, something like that.
That's supposed to be a pretty big meet with some good solid teams out of the Midwest, and that's late in the season, so that'll be a good way to see how we stack up going into championship racing.
Sure.
And then I think rounding out the regular season might be a meet at the College of DuPage, which we've never been to before, but we needed to fill a gap with racing somewhere that was relatively close.
Right.
Yeah.
And it might be a good recruiting tool. I'm sure there'll be a lot of junior college kids there.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah, definitely, right. And then again, with us hosting the Heart Championships in the first week of November, it's going to be November. It'll be colder, but the definitely positive is it's going to be a very flat course.
Right. Yeah.
Potential, if it's not horribly windy that day out at Lacey, could be really, really fast times.
That's the hope, definitely. Especially with the Heart of America is a pretty big conference these days, and in order for points and national rankings and all that stuff, we've got to run fast late in the season.
Sure.
But on top of that, it's just good to have a pretty level and even playing field, a fast course for everybody at conference. And
exactly.
If it's windy, it's windy. It's just another thing you take into effect.
Yeah, it's just
strategy and racing.
It's just part of it.
Yeah.
It's called country. And then I know we're new to the conference, so I'm going to be asking all the coaches this year, where do you figure to be in the conference? And it's really just more or less a crapshoot. Nobody has any idea. So I'm still going to ask that question to you.
Right.
Where do you figure you fall in? And if you have any idea, or where you'd be happy to be, I guess, the first year.
I mean, there are definitely the powerhouses like CMU and Baker that always make a big splash at the Hart Conference meet.
Right.
They're usually on top. Us personally, especially on the men's side, if we're not in the top half, I'll be pretty thoroughly disappointed if we can't come in and immediately take our place in the top half of it.
Sure.
It'd be great to be better than that, be in the top four, but again, we haven't raced against any of these teams.
Yeah, so it's hard to compare, right?
Right. And then on the women's side, I would also like them to be in the top half. With the amount of women we have coming in and the amount of new young talent, I don't think it would be too far-fetched, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out as we move along here.
That's work out.
Yeah.
Keys to this season. Obviously, the gelling of getting the team together and the new kids understanding the mileage, all of that stuff, and the returners, continue to improve. But what are your keys?
Definitely having the newcomers not be afraid to train with the top guys.
Sure.
Because last year OC did a lot of training on his own, and that's tough to do.
Right.
The same goes for, Addison found herself alone a lot too, and those were two of our top kids on each side. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely going to be big to have a larger training group for the top, 4 or 5 on each side.
Sure, definitely.
And apart from that, it's just a matter of staying healthy all season, which the weight staff is great with. They do a lot of stuff with us that keeps everybody strong and healthy, and the training staff does a great job with us too in that respect. So as long as we're healthy and not taking steps backwards, that'll be big for us.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Coach. Well, best of luck this season. We'll definitely continue checking in with you. We'll have a lot of your kids sitting down in the hot seat as this fall rolls through. But yeah, best of luck. We'll get started. You said the first week of September, right? Is out at Augustana.
Yeah, the first meet is
right.
Friday the 4th.
Friday the 4th. So if you're up in the Sioux Falls area that weekend, definitely check out the Statesman. Thanks a lot, Coach Goose, and best of luck.
Thank you.